Alright, so all warmed up. I'll just go for a bit of a drive. Not sure if it's just me or everybody else. This particular one takes solid 10, even sometimes 15 minutes just to get to operating temperature. Idle's pretty good for the most part. I've done a bit of maintenance on it. I'll be going over that later on in later videos as well. Just gonna put the phone on the dashboard and give you guys a bit of a ride and some information as I drive towards my destination. Hoping this stays up. I'm not really equipped for much right now at the moment, but let's hope it works out. And we'll just get going. So as I was saying earlier, it's a 2005 E65 745 E66. I had it for a year, done a few things to it, just putting this channel up, a few other videos. I do work on other vehicles as well from time to time. I'll be putting random videos up. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you don't like, let me know honestly what I can do to improve myself. From day one, when I got the car, I needed an alternator. I put that in. That wasn't too difficult. And as you probably can hear, my brakes aren't the best either. My rears have been done recently by myself at home, but the fronts were in good shape when I got the vehicle, so I left them alone. But I will be getting to those at some point as well. At this point, I'm just going to go over what I've done to the car over the year of owning it and what I plan to do to it next. Hopefully that helps somebody, and hopefully we can get some information off each other as well too. I do apologize if I ramble a bit. Like I said, it's my first time doing this. So I've done from the I guess engine back, we'll go from the spark plugs, coil packs. I've bled the brakes all around, as you should, in my opinion. But as you can see, they are pretty squeaky at the moment, just the front, so they do need to be replaced. Spark plugs I've done, simple filter changes and whatnot, of course. Air filter, cabin filter, all replaced, but that is probably coming up soon as well. Other than that, there's nothing really much under the motor I've done. I've bled the coolant as well, just due to doing the plugs and whatnot. I was already there. Any information or questions about any of these, I guess, maintenance items I do mention, just send me a quick message or a comment and I'll do what I can. Don't see very many 7 Series online at the point, so I'm just trying to get myself and I guess whoever's watching this some information. After the coolant, I went on to just quick little engine cleans, and the alternator was done as well. The starter unfortunately did go on this vehicle. It is a pretty big job, so I wasn't able to do it myself. I did it at a shop that I've been going to for quite a few years. They told me that the subframe and quite a few suspension parts need to be removed just to get to the starter itself. Ran me about, I would say, 1,200 Canadian. So I'm not sure if that's a good price or not, but that's including control, 2 new control arms, the part, labor and all that put together, a few power steering fittings because lines were brittle and had broken during the process. So that is my overall cost on that. One of the things I haven't done myself would have been the starter, just because of difficulty level and not being equipped for it. After that, I've changed both headlights. When I first got the vehicle, I changed the passenger side just because it was blown and needed to be changed. And then about 4 to 5 months ago, I changed the driver's side. And there's a couple videos out there about that process. I'm sure a few of you guys are well aware, are aware that the bumper license plate covers, fog lights, all that need to be removed just to get to the headlights. So I've done that before. If I do end up changing my fog lights later on in the summer, I will put a video up about it and just show you guys the whole process. So it is a fair bit of work, a bit time consuming just for a headlight, but you need to get it done. Also wouldn't recommend going to the dealer or anything. Nothing against the dealer, just you do have options to get just above yourself and go ahead and get it done. It's not anything crazy, you just need the right bits and tools. After that point, I would just move into the vehicle and go to the fact that interior, I haven't done too much to it yet. Just not much needed. The vehicle does drive and runs, or used to run almost daily. So there isn't much that I really need at this point. The passenger seat is out of the vehicle now just because I'm working on it and trying to change the subwoofer underneath, because that did not work just due to water damage. I will also in this video go over what issues I have and issues that I plan on fixing. Driver's seat did not work for a long period of time, was locked in a certain position with the steering wheel locked up as well too. Steering wheel, there's a video on YouTube on how to correct that and fix that. It's something you just need a flathead and maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes of your time, depending how bad the actual unit is, and some WD-40 or some kind of lubricant would definitely be recommended. At that point, I'm just gonna move on to the rear seats, which only thing I've done to the rear have been just the curtains. Rear curtains weren't working, so I just did a little bit of a quick fix, found the fuse, got them back together. And the cigarette lighter was an easy fix as well, just a replacement of the fuse. The interior lights weren't working at one point as well. That's all just replacement of a fuse. Speaking on the interior lights, I also have done a full LED conversion of all the interior lights. I would recommend it to anybody that has the time and willing to do it themselves. It does make the vehicle look a lot better and cleaner. And I wouldn't say modernized, but just a bit cleaner overall, I would say. After that, moving furthermore on the back of the vehicle, the Logic 7 amplifier, which is a huge problem, common issue with these vehicles from what I've heard. Wasn't able to find one, did luck out, and ended up picking one up from a scrapyard. Over the year, and even a bit before that of owning the vehicle, never really saw one of these vehicles in a scrapyard, but luckily enough, in the last few months I did come across a few, so I would recommend anybody keep checking their local scrapyards or junkyards, whatever you would like to call it. It does help a great deal if you're willing to do the work. So the amp works now. In the rear, fairly cheap, anywhere between $300 to $400 online and just locally sourced. But the local scrapyard, $20. Ended up picking up two of them. One unfortunately didn't work because it's a common issue. The other one ended up working perfectly fine, and it's been about 4 to 5 months without any issues. Speaking on the actual audio system itself, I do plan on doing a full custom setup in this vehicle with a full, as much as I can, detailed video on how it's done and how I did it over the course of this channel and me getting to actually do what I want with the vehicle now. Let me actually just clean this up a little bit. Do hope that helps you guys out, getting a little cleaner. And since I just used them, getting wiper blades for this vehicle is also extremely difficult for a good price. You're looking at about $80 Canadian just for one from any locally sourced shop, if they have it, and if it is the right one, which is another big deal. So once again, went to the junkyard and just ended up getting the arm itself because mine was bent, with the rubber from just a random blade and just unclipping it. I will do a video about that when I do change my passenger side at some point in the next near future. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. And also, sorry, just kind of rambling on back and forth here. Going back to the front of the engine, the wash fluid pump wasn't working. Went to the junkyard again, once again, about $15 to $10. Got a pump and the whole container itself. Just needed the pump and quick replacement of that. Any questions or concerns, please ask me. That ended up working out great. Here. And then going back to the trunk itself, tailgate and all that does work, so no major issues in the back there at all as of yet. But since we're on the rear of the actual vehicle, my right passenger spring was snapped or has snapped, and finding a actual spring for this vehicle proved to be pretty difficult or expensive. So I am considering lowering the car just to get the springs in and to save myself a little bit of cash. Anybody has any reviews or comments on whether that's a good idea or not, please do let me know, or any recommendations on what kind of springs to go ahead and purchase. That'd be greatly appreciated. And now at this point, I'm just gonna take a moment just to think about what else I've done with the vehicle. I don't want to ramble on too long, so I'm just gonna pause it and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, so I am back, guys. Just going over my head for a bit. Not much right now. I want to continue on with the video just because I don't want to make it too long, of course. I will be adding a few other clips and information later on. I'm not sure how the video is going to turn out in the end, but at this point, that's all that the vehicle is sitting at. As you can see, it is just driving. It's fairly smooth for the size tires I have on it. At the moment, I do have a bit of an alignment issue, which will be corrected soon. My factory setup is 275, 45, 19 in the rear, with 245, 45, 19 in the front, just a stock 7 Series setup. But in the winter, I do go down to a 18-inch rim with a 245, 50, 18 setup on it. Just the rims and tires I received the vehicle with. As I'd mentioned before, it has been a part of the family, so I just do know the history of it, and I took it as it was. So now at this point, I'm just gonna stop the video. I will see how I'm gonna edit it and kind of get, I guess, the best video for you guys at this point that I can. And if there's any other, like I said, information or little tips or tricks or issues I've ran through, I will be posting them in later videos. Other than that, do take care, and I hope eventually we can help each other. Have a good one.